Hey, Robert. Can I come over to your place today?
Hey, Arya. Sure. It's my day off tomorrow. You want to stay the night?
Ooh, sure thing. I'll head over after I bought some things for tonight's supper and breakfast in the morning. I just have a few things to take care of here, then I'll be on my way. See you later!
By the way, Arya, I've been thinking of asking you this for a while now.
What?
How would you feel about us living together?
Huh?
We've been dating for a whole 3 years now. We stay over at each other's houses at least 3 times a week. Seems like a waste of money to be paying rent and utilities for 2 apartments that are empty half the time. I thought it seemed like all the more reason for us to finally move in together.
You want us to live together? Do you mean at my place or yours?
No, if we did, I think it'd make more sense to rent a new apartment together. Or something someplace close to both of our jobs. Moving is definitely an option. What do you think about us living together, Arya?
If you want us to live together, does that mean you're also thinking about what comes next?
By what comes next, do you mean marriage?
Yes, marriage. You're 26, but I'm already 29. If you want us to live together at this stage, I kinda got the impression you might be thinking about us getting married one day too.
Of course I'd like us to get married one day. Or rather, I already had marriage in mind at the point I asked you out. If we move in together and everything goes well, will you marry me? Never really intended to propose to you during a conversation like this, but I guess that is kind of what I'm doing.
Marrying you. Well, I'm not opposed to the idea of marriage, but... What's your salary?
Huh?
What's your salary? How much money do you make in a year? Just a rough figure is fine.
My salary? It's about $45,000 a year right now. If I was to say what I actually take home after taxes and whatnot, it's probably somewhere just below 40K.
What? It's that low?
Huh? Is that low?
It's even lower than I imagined! There's this guy. He used to be in my class at school. He makes 60K. He works for an elite company. They're super prestigious.
Well, I guess it differs depending on where you work. But isn't salary determined in large part by how long you've worked for a certain company? I only graduated university 4 years ago. Cut me some slack.
Maybe so, but 45,000 is still far too low. If you want me to live with you and even my hand in marriage one day, you should be making at least 75,000. We won't be able to get by on such a low income.
I really don't think it's low enough to be classified as low income. We wouldn't struggle to get by either. Plus, I think it'll go up gradually in the future. The longer I'm with the company, the more I'll earn.
Not the future. I need to make more money now. There's no way I can marry someone who takes home less than 40,000 a year. If you really want to marry me, won't you think about changing jobs? To somewhere you can make over 75K a year?
Changing jobs? Are you serious? There's no way I can do that. Besides, I can't just waltz into some new company and expect them to put me on 75K a year right off the bat.
You'll find somewhere that pays generously if you look. You're just not trying hard enough. Surely, if it's not that much, if you mean it when you say you want to marry me?
What even is this? Is money the only thing you care about? I'd want to marry you even if you were penniless, because it's you I like and not your bank account. Is money the most important thing to you? Was all that time we spent together until now meaningless? All the time we spent whispering sweet nothings into each other's ears a lie?
Come on, Robert. It's not like I'm saying I hate you or anything. But things like living together and getting married cost money. If we went ahead with everything on our current salary, I'd have constant anxiety. I'll be turning 30 soon, and my biological clock's ticking. I won't be able to have kids forever, you know. So if you want to get married straight away, I can't do it unless you make over 75K.
Even so, switching jobs and doubling my salary isn't something I can do at the drop of a hat. You need to be more realistic about this. It's not like I don't have circumstances of my own to consider.
So basically what you're saying is that you don't really want to marry me at all? Is the thought of working a little harder and making more money to provide for me really that awful to you?
Is this all I was to you all along? Why would you even say that? I had no idea you were like this, Arya. You're totally obsessed with money. Be honest, I feel I'm finally seeing your true colors.
No, I'm the one who's seeing your true colors. I thought you'd be making way more than you are because of work from a prestigious company. I just wasted 2 years of my life. It's over, Robert. I'm breaking up with you.
We're after my money this whole time. Fine. I think it's for the best. I have no interest in being with a woman who suddenly starts asking about my salary as soon as the question of marriage is on the table.
Well, I have no interest in being with a worthless broker like you either. Don't even come near me again. If I even so much as see your face after this, I'll report you to the police for stalking. Goodbye. Hey, Robert. Long time no see.
Huh? Who's this?
Don't be silly. It's me, Arya. Surely you didn't forget your ex-girlfriend.
Oh, Arya. I didn't realize who you were for a moment. Why are you messaging me after all this time?
No reason at all, really. I was wondering if you had a new girlfriend yet, though.
That's none of your business.
Oh, me? Well, since you ask, I got a new boyfriend last year. He's in his 50s, so he may be a bit of a grandpa. But he earns over 60K a year. I'm over 30 myself now. So I did lower my standards a little bit from the 75K a year high roller I originally had in my sights on. But he still earns way more than you. In fact, you're so incomparable, it's kind of tragic.
Oh, cool. Pleased to hear it.
Let's face it, only guys raking in serious money were ever gonna have a shot at dating a girl like me. Me and you were a mismatch right from day one.
Yeah. That's great.
You probably haven't managed to get a single girlfriend since we broke up, right, Robert? I could tell you why that is if you like. It's because you're satisfied with a pitiful low salary. How do you expect to be able to bag yourself a decent woman with such a lazy attitude towards life? If you want to have a shot at marrying a princess like me, I suggest you work harder and start bringing more money in.
My current salary is 92K a year.
Huh?
You still seem to think I'm only making 40K. But my current salary is 92K a year. I did tell you before that my salary would go up in time.
What? Are you joking? There's no way you're on 92K. You're lying. How the hell did you end up making that much?
I'm happy for you to think I'm lying if it makes you feel better. But if you want to know how I make this much, first, I quit the company I was at when we dated, so I could start helping my parents out with the family business.
Your parents? The family business? I didn't know your family ran a business. What is it?
Didn't I tell you? My family runs Jinko Heavy Industries. Have you heard of it?
Jincho Heavy Industries? Have I heard of it? Is there anyone who hasn't? major global company famous across the world. Wait, hold on a sec. No way! Are you saying you're the son of the CEO of Jincho Heavy Industries?
It's kind of embarrassing to call myself the son of the CEO, but yeah, I guess I am. I quit my old company 4 years back, a year after we broke up. I started working at Jinko Heavy Industries immediately. I'm currently working with my dad, who, like you said, is the current CEO, so I can learn everything I need to take over the business one day. That said, I am still doing actual work, and I'm already bringing in some decent results myself.
Why didn't you just get a job at a family business in the first place? You would have made even more money by now if you did that.
The company rule is that the successor has to undergo a few years of training at a company in the same line of business. Then there was also the benefit of forging connections within the industry. My dad wanted me to learn about the industry, society, and the world at large by working at a separate company where I wouldn't receive special treatment for being his son. I got into the last company entirely off my own back.
But why didn't you tell me any of this 5 years ago when we broke up? The ring would have been on my finger before you even had time to blink.
I hadn't been formally appointed as a successor by that point, and things still weren't set in stone. Anyway, what kind of guy goes blurting out, "Hey, sweet cheeks, I'll be a CEO one day," to his girlfriend? I'd hesitate to tell people even now, because it's still early days and I still have a lot to learn.
I see, so that's why. Okay, you passed.
What?
You passed my test. You're finally worthy of my hand in marriage. I always had absolute faith in you, Robert. I'm so proud of you. Okay, I'm ready for you to pop the question now. Go ahead as soon as you're ready. Don't be shy, honey. Here's a little hint. It's gonna be a yes.
What? Are you insane? I have no intention of marrying you.
What? Why? It's okay, Robert. You don't have to hold back with me. You worked so hard all these years so you could marry me. I have so much admiration for you. Your reward is waiting. All you have to do is pop the question, sweetie.
I'm not holding back at all. I genuinely don't want to marry you. It's not like I did any of this so I could marry you either. I have no interest in being with the kind of girl whose attitude changes in an instant when she finds out how much money a guy earns, or what his position with a company is. You're the most shallow person I've ever met.
What? What do you mean I'm shallow? Aren't you the one who wanted to marry me? You're the one who asked me to marry you in the first place.
That was 5 years ago. But I seem to have a faint recollection of you turning me down based on my salary. Oh, that's right! My money was more important to you than the time we spent together or the memories we created together. Being proposed to by someone who looked down their nose at me like that doesn't make me feel glad for even 1 second. In fact, it disgusts me. I think you're nothing but a nuisance.
But I told you, I didn't know you were going places back then. I might have said a couple of things that sounded a little harsh, but I want you to know, sweetie, it was only because I wanted you to succeed. Anyway, it's not like you have a girlfriend now, right? Just marry me, honey. You know it's the right thing to do. You'll never regret it.
I most definitely, unequivocally, absolutely, beyond any shadow of a doubt, will not be marrying you. Besides, I couldn't even if I wanted to. I've been married for 2 years now.
Huh? You got married?
We're having a baby in April next year. Our second, in fact.
What? No, this can't be. You can't marry anyone but me. I won't accept it.
I can, and I did. She's the same age as me. And she values me for who I am. My personality, and not how fat my wallet is. She's cute, she's kind. She really is the perfect woman.
That counts as cheating on me. You do realize that? Do you have any idea on how long I waited for you to achieve your potential so we could finally be happy together? To think you just tossed me by the wayside and marry some cheap floozy!
Give me a break. You weren't waiting. Didn't you just say you were dating a guy on $60K a year?
Oh, forget about him. I'll break up with that old man straight away. So please, will you marry me? You definitely won't regret it.
Actually, I think marrying you would leave you with nothing but regrets. Anyway, it's not happening. So just give up. Me and you were a mismatch from day one after all.
I've been tricked. You're the worst. If I knew things would turn out this way, I would have just married you when you asked. Why is this happening to me?
Think of it as a lesson learned. The biggest fish is always the one that gets away. See ya! I immediately blocked Arya from sending me further messages. She was so desperate to talk to me that she went as far as showing up outside the company offices. She was in such a frenzy that she climbed over the security gate while screaming, "I'm Robert's fiancé!" The security guard's efforts to calm her down proving futile. The police were called, and she was arrested in the act of criminal damage and trespassing. Even while being dragged away in handcuffs, she defiantly screamed things like, "I'm the next CEO's fiancé!" and "My man's going places!" But since I'd already explained the situation with Arya to my parents, wife, co-workers, and friends beforehand, no one believed a word she had to say. Ultimately, she ended up promising never to come near me again. And the episode drew to a close with me receiving a tidy sum in fines and compensation. Arya's boyfriend dumped her when she got arrested, and her friends began keeping their distance, leaving her isolated and alone. This whole affair made me realize how foolish it is to focus only on what's right in front of you with no thought for the future. I learned some important life lessons myself.
Harry, you've got some explaining to do. What's this I hear about you getting married? Is that true? We've only been divorced for 3 years. You've got to be out of your mind. What's wrong with you?
What the... Sarah? What do you care? It's none of your business anymore.
Of course it's my business. This new wife of yours, her name's Juno, isn't it?
Well, yeah, but I'm not sure how you'd know that.
Don't underestimate me. I hired a private detective to follow your every move. Obviously, I know your wife's name. Oh, and just to let you know, all the money I paid to hire that private detective, as well as all the money I'll be spending now once I hired a lawyer.
Lawyer?
I think it'll come to just about $100,000. So I would recommend you take any steps you need to take to have that much cash on hand as soon as possible.
$100,000? Okay, I know private detectives and lawyers can be pricey devils, but $100,000? There's no way you spent that much.
That includes damages.
Damages? Damages for what?
You're really dense, aren't you? Don't worry, you'll see all the details once our lawyers reach a settlement.
Settlement? Wait, you're gonna sue me?
Oh, now you understand what's going on. I'm glad you finally decided to open your eyes. Yes, I'm gonna sue you. And yes, I'm gonna take you to the cleaners.
Hold on, what the hell are you gonna sue me for? We've been divorced for 3 years now, and we haven't even spoken but once or twice in that time.
You just admitted everything. You're getting remarried. So, I'm suing you. Get the picture? I have every right to sue you for that.
You drunk or something? Whatever. If you're just gonna text me to harass me like this, I'm gonna block your number.
That's fine with me. My lawyers will be contacting you shortly.
Just let me give you one word of warning. If you do anything to bother my wife, you're gonna regret it big time. Got it?
Hey, Harry, do you have a minute?
Hey, Juno, sure. What's up?
I just checked the mail and I found this weird envelope inside.
Weird envelope? Weird how?
Well, it's addressed to you, and it says it's from someone named Sarah. That's your ex-wife's name, isn't it?
Oh no. You got to be kidding me.
Yeah, and the weird thing is, there's no stamp on it. Plus, our address isn't even written on it, so I think she must have delivered it personally.
Oh my god.
Is it okay if I open it to see what's inside?
Yeah, I guess that would be for the best. Look, I hate to push this on you since the issues between me and my ex don't concern you, but depending on what's inside, I might just have to act quickly, so yeah, go ahead and open it. It doesn't have to be now though, just whenever you have time.
Got it. I'll let you know once I've read it.
Thanks, Juno. And I'm sorry about getting you involved in this.
Okay, well, I read through everything.
What did it say?
Long story short, she says you had no right to get remarried only 3 years after we got divorced. Your doing so has caused me immeasurable pain and suffering. To compensate me for my pain and suffering, I'm suing you for the damages in the amount of $100,000. You must wire the entire amount into my bank account by the end of this month, or I will take you to court. And that's the gist of it anyway.
That's... that makes absolutely no sense. Like, at all.
Plus, I'm 100% positive that she hasn't spoken to a real lawyer about this. Not only is it legally nonsensical, it also looks like it was written by a 6th grader. She misspelled at least one word in each sentence, and that's just the ones where she actually used punctuation. She also wrote you instead of you. The whole thing is just a 10-page mess.
Wait a minute, she wrote 10 pages?
Yeah, most of the pages were just her complaining about things you supposedly did or said to her when you were married, and another big chunk wasn't any specific complaint. She was just insulting you. The most important thing, as far as I could tell, was that she wants to see you for $100,000.
Oh, what am I gonna do with that woman?
Well, for the time being, nothing in here is legally actionable, so I think we're safe. Just in case, we might want to talk to an actual lawyer, though. One of my friends is married to a lawyer, so if you want, I could call her and try to set up a meeting.
That sounds like it'd probably be a good idea. Would you mind setting that up for us?
Sure thing. Give me a little time to try and get in touch with her. I'll let you know what she says later. Hey Harry, great news. I called my friend and she says her husband is open up this afternoon. I'm gonna head over right now.
Wow, that was fast. It's weird that he was free. I thought lawyers were typically really busy.
He is, but apparently his client for the afternoon canceled last minute, and he said I could stop by any time.
Jeez, what a lucky break. Tell him and your friend I said thank you. And also, again, Juno, I'm really sorry that all of this had to happen while I was out of town on business.
Don't worry about it. You're coming home tomorrow right on schedule, right?
Yeah, as of right now, I don't see anything coming up that would keep me here any longer than I planned.
Okay, well, I think if it's okay with you, I'll stay the night at my parents' house just to be safe.
Yeah, go ahead. Let me know if anything comes up.
Will do. I'm gonna go pack some stuff. I'll talk to you later. Love you.
Love you too, Geno. Take care.
What's the big idea, Harry? Why haven't you sent my money yet? I put my bank account information in the letter I sent you, so you've got no excuse. Either pay it by the end of the month, or I'll see you in court.
Did you actually think a stunt like that was going to work?
It's not a stunt. I'm exercising my legal rights to compensation for pain and suffering.
Oh yeah, alright. Oh, tell me, how did you come up with that $100,000 figure?
That's how much pain and suffering you cost me.
And did you ever think to consult with a real lawyer before sending me that letter?
Why should I?
I'll take that as a no then. So what did you base that number on? Do you have any court precedents that you can cite? Maybe a civil statute?
I already told you, when I thought about how much you hurt me, it felt like $100,000.
That reminds me, exactly what sort of pain and suffering did I actually cause you?
You were married just 3 years after our divorce. That's like cheating.
Okay, it seems we have a definition problem here. My wife Gino and I met and started dating after we got divorced. So no, it's not like cheating at all. Because once we're divorced, it's no longer any concern of yours who I choose to meet, date, or marry.
It looks like you're the one who needs a legal reason, Harry. It's so pathetic that you didn't know this. Legally, if you date another person within 3 years of getting divorced, that's considered cheating. But you just didn't stop at dating. You actually married your mistress. That took the damages up a few notches.
What on earth are you talking about?
Oh my god, you are thick. Let me say it again, slowly this time. If you get married within 3 years of getting divorced, that's cheating.
Hey, you know what? I think I know what your confusion is here. I think what you're referring to is the statute of limitations on suing your spouse for adultery. If you discover within 3 years of a divorce that your former spouse was cheating during your marriage, then you can sue them for adultery. Is that what this is about?
I don't get it. How am I wrong about this?
I really have no idea how you managed to misinterpret such plain legal language as that. But in any case, my wife consulted with a lawyer, a person who does this sort of thing professionally, and he confirmed that no, you don't have any standing to sue me like you're trying to.
No way! I don't believe you. How come you guys got to talk to a lawyer, but none of the lawyers I went to would give me the time of the day?
Sounds like you went around to a bunch of different law offices then, huh?
Yeah, I did. This is so unfair. No matter what I said to any of the lawyers I went to, none of them would help me at all.
It sounds like they could see from a mile away that there was no way representing you would end up well for them.
But how could they know that?
I already went over this, so allow me to repeat myself. I met Juno, started dating her, proposed to her, and married her, all after the two of us got divorced. There are no legal grounds for you to sue me for infidelity. We were no longer together.
But the law says I can.
What did the lawyers you talked to tell you? They must have given you some response. But seriously, this isn't even that difficult of legalese. It's practically layman's terms. Oh, and I shouldn't have to remind you about this, but you were the one who was unfaithful during our marriage. So you've really got some gall to try and sue me for getting remarried after we divorced.
Wait, what? Harry, what's going on here? Why did I just get a big stack of papers from your lawyer?
So I take it you were successfully served then?
Served? What do you mean served? What is this?
I just so happened to discover that you had been unfaithful during our marriage. So I'm exercising my legal right to sue you for damages. That's all.
What? I wasn't unfaithful. We got divorced because we weren't just meant for each other. We had different values. We liked different things. We never got along.
Yeah, that's definitely part of the story. I thought that was all there was to it too. So at first I felt that going our separate ways would be the best thing for both of us. However, when I looked through that 10-page screed you put in my mailbox, in the midst of all the grammatical and spelling mistakes and nonsensical legal theories, there were a few passages that caught my attention. Remember the part where you were comparing me to another guy you had met toward the end of our marriage? That got me suspicious that maybe there was more to our divorce than I first thought.
Oh,
You're still seeing the same guy, aren't you? The guy who works part-time at a local factory. You did me the favour of including your current address when you put that envelope in my mailbox. Thanks to that, it's easy to hire a private detective of my own to check into you. I come to find out the supposedly single-occupant apartment you live in is actually owned by a man. And he also learned that you were frequently going in and out of that apartment while we were still married. It wasn't long after he found out that he got exactly what he needed. Hard proof that you were having an affair.
this can't be happening. Not only am I not getting money out of you, but now you're the one who's gonna get money from me?
By the way, I'm not the only one who's getting money from you. The guy whose apartment you're living in is married. He's got a wife and kids in another city.
Oh my god, please tell me you didn't tell her.
I'm happy to report that I did, in fact, inform her of everything. She said she is going to divorce her husband and sue for full custody of the kids, so he'll have to pay her child support and you'll have to pay her damages for knowingly sleeping with her husband.
What are you trying to do? Destroy me?
I also told your parents.
Oh, come on.
They told me to tell you they're disowning you. They never want to hear from you again, and they won't give you any help with your impending legal troubles.
How could you do this to me? You're a scumbag, Harry.
Oh, I'm the scumbag. Me?
Is this fun for you? Ruining my relationship with my boyfriend?
I wouldn't really call it fun, but I suppose you could say I'm getting a sense of satisfaction with seeing to it that someone like you gets what they deserve.
You jerk! Creep! You're not gonna be satisfied until my life is totally destroyed, are you?
I wouldn't say destroyed, no. I'm just ensuring that any and all responsible parties take responsibility for the consequences of their own actions. That's all.
But how can you sue me when we've been divorced for 3 years?
I'm sorry, weren't you paying attention to our conversation yesterday? I told you that if infidelity is discovered within 3 years of a divorce, the wronged spouse can sue for damages. Scroll up if you want. I told you all this before. And since technically 3 years haven't passed yet, I'm still well within my rights to sue.
You're just doing this for money, aren't you?
What were you after when you tried to bilk me out of $100,000?
Screw you!
Got nothing, eh? That's fine. If you'd like to learn more about infidelity laws, try asking one of the lawyers you spoke to before.
I said screw you! You money-grubbing snake!
Call me what you wish, Sarah, but I can't have you meddling in my affairs anymore. You caused a great deal of trouble for me and my wife. I decided that the only way you would learn to stay away from us is if I hit you hard and as fast as I could.
I'll break up with my boyfriend, okay? That'll solve everything, won't it?
It's far too late for that, Sarah. Even if you break up with him now, it won't change the fact that you're going to have to fork up some cash to me and your boyfriend's wife.
Seriously? You've gotta be kidding me.
And with that, I think I'll take my leave from this conversation. Talking with you is like bashing my head against a brick wall, giving me a headache.
No, no, no! You are not gonna run away from me like this! Coward!
Man, you remind me of the Black Knight scene from Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Alright, yeah, so, look, a lawyer will be speaking with you soon, so I suggest you do what he tells you to.
Wait, Harry, can we talk about this?
Nope. Bye. I've been doing a lot of thinking about my relationship with my ex-wife lately. At the time, I justified our divorce to myself by saying it was because of a difference in values, but now, however, I actually kind of think that the real reason is just that my ex-wife was really, really, really dumb. And I mean, look, this isn't to say that I'm some kind of Albert Einstein or anything, but man, yeah, that's all there is to say. She's just a complete ignoramus. After that last text exchange, the wife of my ex-wife's boyfriend launched her lawsuits against the two of them. Apparently, her lawyer showed up to my ex-wife's apartment just as mine was leaving. Both of our lawsuits were for a lump sum payment, leaving the adulterous couple completely penniless. As her boyfriend never did have much of what could be considered a career, she's now working 2 jobs in order to keep their finances above water. Funny story. The other day, my ex-wife actually sent me a text message begging me to take her back. I was at a loss for words, so I didn't even respond. I just blocked her and went about my day. The last thread connecting the two of us is that she knows my current address, but we're moving within the month in order to remedy that. It'll be nice to finally be free from her, 3 years after our divorce.